Hey, everybody. Welcome to our 2023 Convention Speaker Interview Series. In this series, we're sitting down and chatting with some of the unique and amazing speakers we have lined up to join us in September for convention. Today, we're excited to be joined by one of our convention keynote speakers and an international mental health educator, Gloria Chan Packer. Gloria is the founder of Recalibrate, a workplace mental wellness provider that takes a uniquely modern, science-backed, and realistic approach to mental wellness learning for client organizations all over the world. Her 2022 TED Talk garnered more than 2 million views, making it one of the most watched that year. And I've seen that TED Talk, and it is absolutely fantastic. So in addition to providing the keynote at convention, Gloria is also going to host a couple breakout sessions. So enough of that. She's got a really long resume that I'm not going to read. But thank you so much for joining us today, Gloria. And as I told you before, we've got some really difficult questions for you. So hopefully you're ready.
I'm ready. Giddy up.
All right. So your keynote is all about reclaiming mental wellness in real estate. I think we can all relate to that since this is a very stressful gig, and it can be difficult not to get yourself enveloped in stress or burnout from time to time. Why is this topic so important, do you think?
One, thank you so much for having me. Thank you for making the time for some of these fun questions too. I think that the reason this topic is so important is because of how prevalent stress and burnout are, but at the same time, still how immature we as a society are at managing stress and burnout healthily. I think that for most of us, we don't have deep skills to manage healthily because most of us were brought up in a culture of kind of suck it up, do your work, and mental health is for sissies, which our prior generations had their own valid reasons for, but we're a different generation. And I think in our time, we have realized not only culturally, but scientifically, just how bad things can get when stress and burnout run amok. Without skills to really healthily manage stress and burnout, things can get really bad. There can be really significant negative impacts in every corner of our life, from physical health to mental health, to our work, to our relationships and our family lives. It really can touch every corner of our life. Stress and burnout affect every human being, but I think specific to real estate, this is an industry where professionals face unique aspects of heightened stress and burnout, where in your day-to-day work, you are serving clients when they are going through one of the most financially significant and therefore emotionally charged transactions of their lives. So things just get really intense really quickly. And that's a lot to carry as it pertains to stress. And then on top of that, your work schedule. A lot of times you are putting in hours and days where you need to be available for everything from showings to pumping out some comps analysis to negotiating. And that can feel really extended and taxing. And then underlying all of that is just constant change of these market conditions that feel completely out of your control. And so because of this, and I imagine so many other factors, the real estate industry can just be especially stressful and can really expose people more to burnout if you don't have that ability to manage stress and burnout of your day-to-day more healthily. If you don't have those skills to figure out ways not only to take care of yourself and find time to, but to do things like setting boundaries and finding a way to eventually grow this skill set of managing your stress and burnout more healthily is really going to directly correlate to your sustainability of your own work and success, both professionally and personally. And that's really how I like to frame this conversation around stress and burnout, is really around sustainability. It's not about getting rid of stress and burnout. I don't personally think that is possible. It's really about getting healthier and increasing your sustainability of your relationship with stress and burnout in your life.
That's so, it hits really close to home. Certainly, as as most people in real estate, like you said, I mean, we deal with a lot of stressful situations and so forth, and really looking forward to your insights about dealing with that as it pertains to real estate and in general. So I guess sort of a follow-up question to that is, is there something specific, whether it's related to the keynote or to your breakout sessions, or not even specific, but general things that you hope the members gain from those sessions?
There is, without getting into the nitty-gritty detail. What I
Yeah, we
hope
don't want any
people walk,
spoiler alerts.
yes, no spoilers. Without getting into spoilers, in general, what I hope attendees walk away from, one is just a sense of understanding and permission. My objective is really to provide some tangible science-backed understanding of our human biology and of the biology of stress and burnout, to understand why stress and burnout is so frequent and normal, and why we feel it physically and mentally the way we do, so that then gives us just some permission to know that we're normal and that we're not weak when we are struggling with stress and burnout.
Yeah.
From there, I really hope that attendees will be able to gain a sense of action and empowerment too. I want to be able to provide a series of, again, really tangible tactics and tools that are actionable, so that people can reflect on them and really apply them in busy life to help achieve a more sustainable and healthy relationship with stress and burnout, bit by bit, one foot in front of the other. I also hope that there's just a general sense of empowerment through these things, to be able to know what's going on internally within ourselves and know that we have choices to manage better. But also hopefully just for people to feel more reconnected and reminded of their inner resilience, to provide some stable footing and some hope to move forward, no matter what life throws at us next. That's what I hope people will walk away from the keynotes and the breakout sessions with.
Yeah. Well, full disclosure to those of you watching this video, Gloria and I talked before today, and one of the things that I said to her, based on my understanding of her background and kind of the topics you're going to cover, is it's a very important, it's I guess you could call it sort of a heavy topic, but the end result, as you just said, is empowerment and hope that you can have some strategies and resources to deal with these issues that we all deal with. Because I think you're right. A lot of us just kind of bury it and go home and just sulk or whatever. And that's not a healthy way to deal with any of those things, obviously. So yes, I think those will be, I mean, I'm really looking forward to having you here. And I understand that you've never been to Iowa, so I know you're looking forward to having a small little snippet of what Iowa has to offer. So with that in mind, we have a couple just sort of fun questions for you. Are there any sort of bucket list things that you've heard about with Iowa or Des Moines that, whether you can do them this time or not, is something you'd like to do?
Yes, on my hope to do list while I'm there, I have heard, and I don't know that this is true, we talked about this, but I've been told and read that pork tenderloin sandwiches are a big thing. And I mean, that sounds amazing to
You
me.
get
So
one about this big, that's what
yes,
you need.
yes. I mean, coming from Austin, Texas, where like I feel like chicken fried steak is our thing, where you have chicken fried steaks the size of your head, I'm all for a flat fried pork tenderloin. That sounds
Nice.
incredible. So that's definitely
Okay.
on my food bucket list. The botanical garden is something high on my list.
Oh yeah.
I think my answer to the classic, if money wasn't a thing, what would you do for your work? I mean, I'd work as a greenhouse manager. So I can't wait to maybe have some time to explore the botanical garden as well. And lastly, this has nothing to do with Des Moines, but I have an almost 1 year old. So whenever I travel for work, even though I miss him very much, I get so excited at the prospect of sleeping for a night without that white noise of my baby monitor just haunting my dreams.
Well, hopefully you can achieve all three of those while you're in
Yes,
Des Moines. That
I
would be
hope that
great.
I can. I hope that I can.
Okay, so this is kind of a question from almost out of left field, but it's just, again, just sort of an interesting thing that we wanted to ask people on this
Yeah.
series is, what is your irrational fear? It seems like everybody has kind of an irrational fear of something.
There are so many. I mean, I could choose so many. And I thought about this one for a while. I'm really grateful that you gave me a little bit of time to noodle on this, because you could go so many different ways. Because I mean, I think we all have a lot of irrational fears. So I thought about a few. One that I feel like maybe folds into my talks a bit. One big irrational fear that I have is that if I rest or take my eye off the ball for too long, that everything will come crashing down.
Oh,
And I know that I'm not alone in that like really extreme deep down fear that I don't think a lot of us are cognizant of, but it's why so many of us, I think, are just on this hamster wheel of like, I can't relax,
yeah.
I can't slow down, I have to keep going, I have to keep going. And so I'm excited to reference and dig into that even a little bit more as it relates to burnout, in both my keynote and our breakout sessions. Because I think it's something that is intense for a lot of us, and underlies a lot of sticky behaviors for us that have done a lot of good in our lives, where we're hard workers and perfectionists and people pleasers, but without boundaries and healthier skills to cope, it can also get pretty sticky and troublesome as it pertains to stress and burnout too.
That's a fantastic answer, Gloria. No surprise that there are a lot of realtors that I know, and I'm guilty of this too, that we say, oh, I can't take a few days off because my whole real estate business is going to come crashing down
Right.
because I'm
Yeah.
not there to help my clients and so forth. And
Mhm.
I mean, we need to remember that, hey, you need to take time off
Yeah.
to relax and enjoy yourself. So that's a great one. I
Yeah.
don't think that's irrational at all. Well, it is in
Yes.
a way if you're extreme about it, I suppose.
Right. Yeah. Everything is irrational and rational. It's a little bit of both a lot of the times.
Yeah. Well, it's been a pleasure chatting with you today. We're looking forward to hearing you speak next month already. It's coming up very
Yes.
quick.
Yeah.
So for everybody watching, the annual convention is September 26th through the 28th in downtown Des Moines. We've got a few just great days lined up with wonderful speakers, education, activities, and all kinds of stuff. So we can't wait to see you all there. And thanks again, Gloria. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.